over?
If I took what?
The Packers and the Buccaneers under or over?
I took the over because I said there's no way that Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers should score less than 40 points or 40 and a half or whatever it was.
I mean, I would have probably taken the same thing. It just didn't work out.
Easily we're going to go under.
100% I took the over. Even though the under hit, 100% I took the over.
Oh, we are live. We're live.
Well, for everyone that's listening, now that we're live, Cole ditched us and informed us an hour and a half ago?
Pretty close. Pretty close.
It's pretty good. Good stuff out of you.
Hey, I'm present. It's not a Tornado Tuesday, you know.
It's not a Tornado Tuesday.
That's all right.
You're not wrong.
So we'll probably do it a little bit different this week. Having Cole on, he's got some golf and stuff that he's.
Are you guys on the course?
No, we played this morning, and then we'll play again tomorrow morning.
Nice.
Okay.
So how much time do we have with you?
Oh, I'm here for the duration.
Oh shit. Okay, we'll go no more show. You just we don't get your pretty face.
Yeah, I just won't comment as much probably since you guys will be live there. So
that works.
Right. After 5 deep. Yeah.
Hey,
like you're not going to talk.
No promises.
So running down, we'll get started here. So just a little bit of a show rundown for those who are new listeners. What we're going to do is we're going to recap both college football and NFL football. So weeks 4 and 3, respectively. From there, we'll talk about some news that might have popped up. This week's going to do a little bit of a Ryder Cup recap. The USA took care of business there. Singles Day got a little hairy there for like a stretch of 3 holes, but that was about it. Once again, the U.S. kind of wrapped it up within foursomes and 4-ball. So that's kind of been the standard as of late. From that news and recap, we'll go ahead and we'll go through our college picks. We have a pretty good slate of picks and kind of some weird lines this week that we're going to talk about. And then after that, we'll jump into the NFL. Okay, what was some news from the NFL? What were some big takeaways maybe that we saw? Are the Jags legit? Are the Eagles the true NFC favorites? I don't know now. That's what it looks like right now. But we'll talk about that later on. And then from there, we'll make our NFL picks, and then we'll do a parlay to end the show.
Which apparently we should just pick Ryan's locks because he does fairly well in those. So let's.
I did all right this week. I went.
Too bad you didn't lock that one in and actually.
Well, if I would.
You parlayed those? I wonder what the odds were.
I'm 7 of 8 this week.
Yeah.
7 of 8 picks. If I would have
7 of 8. 7 of 8's fine, except for you lose the parlay because you weren't 8 of 8.
Yeah, I mean, do 4 and 4.
Yeah, exactly.
Not all 8. Are you crazy? These are going to be high odds. I mean, he took Jacksonville for crying out loud.
I did take Jacksonville, and I took James Madison to beat Ohio State.
You mean future Super Bowl champion, Jacksonville Jaguars?
Current Super Bowl champs, whatever.
Exactly, whatever you want to call it. But let's start in college. Let's start with the Wisconsin-Ohio State game. Wisconsin traveled to number 3 Ohio State. Ohio State, when we were talking about it, opened as 17.5-point favorites. 56.5 was the total. For all of us, when it comes to the total, we all thought it was going to stay under. Just based off of how Big Ten unders, how these teams have kind of played this year. Any thoughts on this one, Cole? I mean, Ohio State covered the spread, but what do you think?
Wisconsin's terrible.
Yeah, that's a fair statement. That
was my only take from that game is just how disappointingly bad they are. Like maybe as bad as Iowa.
Yeah, so that was actually when we started talking about it at the beginning of the year, and like, okay, when we were doing like long short picks or whatever it might have been, and seeing a 9-3 Iowa team. That was one of the losses that I had for Iowa. Definitely didn't have them losing to Iowa State, but at this point, like,
that game's going to be 9-6.
Yikes.
Does Wisconsin Iowa play? Do they play each other's? Yeah. Is that game? No one should tune into that game.
It's going to be another.
Just gross.
It's going to be another
just
like.
Close your eyes.
Yeah.
That's going to be another.
Wake up
game where one team scores double digits and wins just because they got into double digits.
Yeah. Yeah, by probably their defense.
Yeah.
I think that's a walk-off. If you get to 10, you automatically win that game.
Yeah, like the game's over. Like
race
they
to
end
10.
it.
That's what they're playing. Race
Drop
to 10. Mercy rule. Next one was a good game to see. Is Tennessee the real deal? Number 20, Florida, traveled to number 11, Tennessee. Tennessee was 10.5-point favorites for this game. A lot of points for this kind of rivalry, but honestly, I thought Tennessee was going to kind of take it to Florida. I didn't really see Florida coming and scoring, later in the fourth quarter or anything like that. I thought it was kind of over once it was, 31-21. But
I mean, they had to get an
onside. It was
onside
31-20.
Yeah, it was 30. It was 38-21 actually, and that
that's what it was.
It was over,
and then they went for 2 like idiots,
and they got the onside though. So,
and then they scored.
Richardson scored, or he threw for 453 yards and 2 touchdowns.
But he didn't play well until it didn't matter.
Yeah, I agree with that. Tennessee looked good. Tennessee looked how I thought they would. In Florida,
there's a lot of points in that game, though.
There was a lot of points in that one.
That surprised me.
71 total. That was
like that came out of nowhere.
SEC game. Typically, SECs don't score like this.
I'm done with this SEC under bullshit.
I'm not saying that. I mean,
get out of here, Ryan.
I am a little bit, but SEC typically doesn't like these games. We don't see from SEC.
You guys,
we might see like a 38-24.
So it was what did we say? 71 points. It was 71 points, and that's because Florida turned over on downs on Tennessee's 20 to start the game. Then Tennessee goes down to Florida's 25 and fumbles. So there's at least 6 points there. Another missed field goal by Florida. So there's 9 more points that should have easily have happened.
Oh, there was no defense played in this game.
Tennessee fumbled again on Florida's 33. There's another points. I mean, there's a ton of turnovers in the red zone. This could have went to 100 points.
Easy.
Jesus.
100%.
No doubt.
So that's 62.5 total. As much as
we
all thought.
We missed that one.
62.5 is pretty high. Especially when you think you got 2 teams in the top 20 that it's like, okay, maybe these guys can stop each other. It's not like they're these electric offenses that don't stop scoring, but apparently they just have the school of the blind playing defense for them.
Also, Cole with the backdoor cover on Florida.
Yeah. It works. Whatever works.
You know how mad I was when they went for 2 and missed?
Yeah.
For no reason?
Yeah, I don't understand that.
Why? It was just bad coaching.
Yeah.
But then they got the cover on the onside since they recovered the onside.
Yeah, which is the difference, and that's why I have a shot for college. So
that is true. Next game we have number 10 Arkansas traveling to number 23 A&M. A&M was 2.5-point favorites. The total was at 48.5 here. One thing that we've seen a lot this year is home teams are getting points. They are favoring a lot of home teams. Now, A&M is a good team. They started out the year ranked 6th in the country. But you look at a top 10 Arkansas team, in this case, you're probably like, why isn't Arkansas favored by 2.5 when these lines come out? But, I mean, I told you.
I don't want to talk about this game.
Why not?
You upset about this one, Cole?
He hit the top of the damn goalpost to win the freaking game.
I know.
That's like, yeah.
The top of the goalpost. How's that even possible?
I got lemon lime again. For
I don't even, like, that is incredible, honestly. So, okay.
If Arkansas should have won that football game.
If he hits the top and it goes, like, if it veers just a tiny, tiny bit left, but it goes forward towards the stands, is that considered a good field goal?
It's good, yeah. The only way he misses is the way that it missed. Yeah. The way that we watched it on television.
The way that it actually happened.
There's 3 things that could have happened there, and 2 of them were good. One of them was what happened.
See, this is the part of that doesn't make sense. Again, I don't think I've ever seen it, nor I don't think if it's ever gotten videoed before, a ball doing that. But when it's above the goalpost in any part of the ball, crosses the goalpost, it's good.
Correct.
But this one was no good because it hit the top.
Well, yeah, it never went through.
Right? So, like, but either it doesn't go through when it hits right where the pole would be. It's just the pole's not tall enough. That part,
right.
It never makes sense to me. The ball.
Well, just kick it in between the posts. Don't be an idiot.
Right, just kick in between the posts or extend the posts.
You got one job. You're a kicker.
Have collapsible posts, so when it hits, it falls down.
I'm firing that guy.
Extenders. Yeah, you should fire him. But yeah, that overall it was a good game.
Yeah.
Guys, let's be real. It was a good game. It didn't work out well, but it was a good game.
But the game of the week was the game of the week. Again, talking about no defense. Like Wake Forest had this game. Gave it away late.
I was at the Drake game, so I didn't get to watch this one.
Back-to-back field goals to go into overtime, and then Wake scores, and then Clemson scores, and then Clemson gets to start second OT. They score, and then they hold Wake Forest. I mean, this was a fun game overall.
Yeah, I can't. I was so surprised with again how many points were scored. I'm not sure if this game surprised me more than the Florida Tennessee game, but Clemson's defense I just expected to be stronger. Wake Forest I didn't, but Clemson doesn't have a good offense.
Right.
But yeah, I mean the amount of points scored, even though there was 2 overtimes, the amount of points scored in this game was pretty mind-boggling to me.
Yeah, I mean, and so the surprising part is Clemson had a top 10 defense last year, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
And then, no, don't get me wrong, like Sam Hartman's a good quarterback.
Right.
That dude's good, but I still don't see over 100 points in any Clemson, like any game in general, but any Clemson game whatsoever. Like that shouldn't happen.
Yeah,
that was crazy.
So overall, we'll go down to the bottom for our locks. So for our money line locks, Stoy went with Iowa State at home, which I actually liked that pick. Now, if you would have gone to Waco,
want to know the funny part about that is, in our pool,
you took Baylor,
and in our 6 pool, I took Baylor.
Makes sense.
Make that make sense, boys. I don't know. It was a gut feeling. It was a gut feeling with my money, and I apparently went against what I said here. So,
so for Cole, Minnesota,
wow,
big win. I mean, is it just
Gophers? Gophers are going to win the West, man.
Michigan State's bad.
I mean, that's just what it is. Like,
but yes, the Gophers will probably win the West. But guys, Michigan State's bad. Bad.
Yeah.
I mean, that's fine. They're not as bad as Iowa and Wisconsin, though. So
exactly.
I mean, we'll come to find out, but they're bad.
And then I took Coastal, who Cole was trying to wish against me. At one point in that game, Coastal went up early, like 14-0, and I said something about, like, I should have put X amount of money, but I think the wife would have been mad. And then I was like, okay, maybe I should have put the mortgage or a HELOC on our house and put the rest of it onto Coastal at like -10, because there was that line just didn't make sense. There was no reason for them to be only 2.5 point favorites. I mean, they were the clear better team.
You're not wrong at all.
One thing that surprised me, Stoy, I thought your spread lock, like I thought 40.5. Oh my! Now goodness. again, Vandy played Bama. Like, Bama is a great team, but like 40.5, I did not see that. I kind of saw. So I could have seen the score of the Bama Vandy game being the score of the Georgia Kent State game, and vice versa.
I had that in mind. I had exactly that in mind.
Yep.
Vandy just didn't show up. I don't know what Vandy decided to do. Besides
Cole, you hit a couple Vandys earlier on in the year, didn't you?
Yeah, I mean, I just expected them exactly what you just said. I expected that game and the Georgia game to be completely flipped, and for whatever reason, Vanderbilt looked across the sideline and decided that Alabama puts their pants on differently than they do.
You guys, how many turnovers do you think Vandy had?
I mean, they were terrible. What, they have 6?
What's your guess?
4.
0.
What?
Bama had a turnover. Bama fumbled 3 times, lost 1. Vandy had 0.
Vandy didn't even run enough plays to turn the ball over. They just punted it after 3 times every time.
That was
you're not. I mean, you're not lying in that regard.
So then for my spread lock, I took Oklahoma. I think from now on, and I have a guy that I went to UNI with. He was a tight end at UNI, transferred to Kansas State. He's like, you can no longer consider when Kansas State beats Oklahoma as like an underdog play in this game, because out of like 3 of the last 4 years, Kansas State has won. Like,
Adrian Martinez played the game of his flipping life.
Oh, absolutely.
His 12-year career, yes.
Absolutely, he has. And
is he only in year 12? That's it?
Maybe 14. But, I mean,
I thought at this point he was getting paid by the NCAA because a tenure.
Well, yeah, I didn't know that Kansas State had an anesthesiology school. So
right.
I think that's
at this point, like, Martinez is a professor at the college.
He's tenured, actually. It's crazy.
There's grad transfers, and then there's professor transfers,
and then there's Adrian Martinez.
USC 6.5. What happened there, Cole?
Dude, they didn't show up. I mean, they dominated that game and they just didn't score the football.
Yeah. I mean,
it is what it is. Like, I mean, they won.
Yeah. Absolutely.
But like, they were the better football team, and just for whatever, like, just kept stepping on themselves.
Yeah, I mean,
like, that game was super low scoring. The number on that game was, I mean, they came in like 40 points under.
Yes, they did. Technically,
yeah, that's
so. I mean,
9.5. But yes,
right. Like, how many games come in 30 point? From even a Vegas perspective. So that game was just weird. Like, USC should have had 3 more touchdowns in that game.
Yeah.
Like, absolutely. I mean, they just kept getting in their own way. So I don't. Just an odd game, I guess, being in Corvallis.
Does that hinder anything for Caleb Williams?
Nah. I mean, it probably does, but like, at the same point, you still win the game. So therefore, you don't get the negative attention. So as long as they continue and he goes back to what he was doing, it'll be kind of a forgotten type of game.
That makes sense. No, absolutely. So let's go down to over/under locks. Stoy locked in the Georgia Kent State under 62.5. What did it end up being? 39-22, 38-22?
Yeah, let me look it up right quick.
That game was
it was like
39-22.
Yeah, so 61.
How did they score 22 points?
That's it. See, and that's what's weird. That's a Vandy Bama score right there.
Vandy
still wins by 7, or Bama still wins by 17, but like, I don't understand.
I mean, it was never a game, but it was just like, I mean, I didn't see any of it, but I just tracked the score, and I'm just like,
Georgia
just playing second, third string guys the whole game? Like,
Georgia had 2 turnovers.
Right. I mean, which is
I don't have anything.
Just one of those games you feel like you're looking past them type of thing.
Yeah, they just settled for more field goals than actually scoring touchdowns.
But the fact that their defense gave him up 22 is way more surprising to me than anything.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. I mean, so, and then I took Iowa State Baylor over 45.5.
That was a good one.
It was just too low of a game for a lot of like, if Iowa State stays in some of these games in the past, like they've stayed with Oklahoma or they stayed with Oklahoma State, right. Those games that they've won have been high scoring games.
Mm-hmm.
Now Baylor's defense is good.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's going to be my kind of thing. That's what's making me wishy-washy when we talk about this game in the future. The Baylor game in the future is just like, Baylor's defense is really good.
Right.
They gave up some late points, but they still, I think they had 2 interceptions that game. Sure.
They sure did.
So they had 2 interceptions, no fumbles, but again,
and
then 9. Like, Baylor's a running team. 9 minutes of time of possession difference. Like, they just controlled the game. Exactly kind of how you talked about with USC. Obviously, the score was a little bit more crooked, but just control the game.
Yeah. That game was corrupted by the refs in the first 2 minutes. It was ruined.
I didn't watch it.
So in the first minute and a half, Iowa State got a guy ejected.
Oh, I saw that ejection. That was a bad ejection.
Terrible ejection. And then the next drive, so that drive led to points. And then the next drive, Iowa State got called for a defensive cut block, which the corner just ran in and hit the lineman in the thigh pad. They stopped him on third down. Baylor got points on both drives. Completely screwed Iowa State, completely screwed the flow of the game.
When was the last time you saw a defensive cut block call?
This year's actually the first time I've seen 3 of them.
3 of them?
So it's something that they're really starting to call more of, where the corners or the safeties are coming up into the box and basically cutting down linemen who are running out to block on the edges.
Which sucks because you're taught to, but also linemen are
right. But that's a new rule.
Yeah,
that's a new rule though on both sides. But they missed both the call. Like the calls were wrong.
Yeah.
Like not only did they extend drives, but the calls were just straight wrong. So like both of those are stops. Baylor got points. Iowa State lost a player. 3 other times in the game, Baylor guys did something worse than the Iowa State guy got ejected, and the plays were never even reviewed, let alone, and just completely ruined the flow of the game at home. The referees did a terrible job in that game, missed a couple of calls that were in Iowa State's favor as well. It was as poorly officiated game as I've seen, and I've seen a lot of poorly officiated games. Both sides, the guys were terrible. They ruined the flow of what was a good football game anyway, but they completely ruined the game, and that started 2 minutes and 10 seconds into the game. It was miserable because of the referees, which is always a terrible viewing experience.
Yeah. Fair.
So that was the biggest disappointment in that game.
So Cole's over-under after that, great breakdown there, but Cole's over-under lock was Vandy Bama 58.5, ended up with 58, being that Vandy scored 3 points and Bama scored 55. That's just brutal.
Hey, I'm drinking right now because of that.
That's fair. DGen picks.
So
everybody had a good DGen pick this week, I think. So, Cole, this goes back to the 12-team playoff, and Oregon's ranked 13th in the country right now because they're that bubble team that we talked about. Washington State hung with them, was beating them for a while during this game.
Yeah, and they really, man, if their quarterback didn't throw a pick 6 late.
Yeah. The game ended 44-41. That's Washington State played. That was a.
Oh, yeah.
But again, it goes to show with this 12-team playoff, there's still going to be 4 teams or 5 teams that are really, really good, and the next 6, 7 teams are just going to be meh. But,
right.
And those teams that are in 13, 14, 15 are probably, just as you said, bubble teams that would have lost first game anyways.
Right.
I took James Madison, who, if you're gonna get up 28-3, I think you just need to go for 2 instead of kicking that extra point. Go for 2, so then it's 27-3, and then you get away from that curse.
Or 29-3. Either way, don't get to 28-3.
Exactly.
It's not good.
Get away from that curse. James Madison ended up winning that game against App State, who App State has just done that the past couple weeks with Troy, and now with James Madison. They go from beating a good Texas A&M team to letting teams back in it, letting teams play with them that they absolutely shouldn't be even close with. And then Cole took Florida. We touched on this game a little bit earlier. Not a bad pick. But
just didn't work out.
Exactly.
Just didn't work out. That's fine.
We'll jump into NFL recap quick, and then we'll right after that we'll do President's Cup before we get into our actual picks.
Cup.
So NFL Week 3, Thursday night football, Pittsburgh, Cleveland, 38.5 was the total. So score ended up being, and I'm going to have to know the exact number.
This one was so infuriating.
What is this?
I lost so much. Everyone lost so much money. So much money on that last play. So much money.
So 29-17. So it was.
The game went exactly how I thought it would go, and I lost
20.
so much.
It was over already, though.
It was 23-17. Like a hook and ladder. Let's do some schoolyard bullshit. Throw the ball around. Keep going backwards until it eventually gets fumbled and the Browns fall on it in the end zone.
Which, for those that had the under, or those that had the Steelers covering 10.5, or even 9.5, or Claypool, because he lost 2 yards on that play, I think it was technically. Six, whatever.
Yeah,
regardless,
whatever it was.
all of those, you got beat because of that last play, because of the last play.
I teased it up to 14.5 when I took my bet, and I'm like, I had so many people, like you said, that had him at 10.5, different stuff like that.
There was 110,000 people that followed PMIs, and like they refunded them, which is cool as shit. But I took his and just added a couple, but they didn't refund mine. Damn it!
Yeah, that's just.
Dude, nobody should have got refunded. That's what you get.
No, that's gambling. I mean,
season.
that's
gambling.
You're taking your chance.
Gambling. Absolutely. And I think when McAfee did his video and when he woke up and got all pissed about it, like he said the same thing. It is what it is. Like, that is gambling. That is sports. Should that ever happen? No, absolutely not.
But also,
Pittsburgh
was just a better football team in that game, and they just they find so many ways to just screw themselves. It's unbelievable.
You're not wrong.
Pickett's got to start in the next couple weeks for them.
I think so.
And it's not even that I don't like Trubisky. It's just they're not playing play calling for him to be successful. So you might as well put Pickett in there if that's how you're going to play call.
It's almost like they're play calling
let it go
for Pickett. You know what I mean? Like
I don't know if they're scared. Like throw the ball down the field. Look at the athletes you have playing receiver on that team.
And it's athletes at receiver that can catch the ball. It's not like they are just these turn and burn guys that just beat people. They are big bodies and they can professionally catch.
So conservative.
Yeah. Just throw it up. Like literally, just throw it up.
And then give Najee Harris a chance because you can stretch the field a little bit so that you can give him some running room. Like, their play calling is infuriating, and I'm not even remotely a Steelers fan, but it is so terrible to watch because of the talent they have out on offense, and they use none of them. And it's like you're handcuffing Trubisky. Like, of all people, you're handcuffing Mitch Trubisky. Like, get the hell out of here.
Right.
Like, so you might as well throw Pickett in there. Like,
right.
At least at that point, give him a chance to throw the ball down the field and then hand the ball off to Najee.
Right.
Yeah.
Like,
you're not wrong.
With this play calling, it's so, like you said, so conservative that it is like they're trying to play a rookie that they don't want to get hurt or they don't want to ruin his confidence or anything like that too much. It's like, no, let's dump it off.
Dude, you got
let's
3 quarterbacks there.
Let's average 6 yards a throw and be good with it.
When the Browns look aggressive with Jacoby Brissett compared to you, something's wrong.
You did something wrong. Like
yes.
you done messed up.
Yeah.
You done messed up. Ron.
Just means you like to punt, I guess. I don't know.
No kidding.
But Thursday night football is
Thursday night football.
Thursday
That's it. I mean, it is what it is.
It's undefeated in being Thursday night football.
Yeah, so undefeated. And this week's not any different when we get to it.
No. Game number 2 on our list. Detroit traveled to Minnesota. Minnesota's 5.5-point favorites. 53.5 was the total. My takeaway from this game is the fact that there's a lot of laundry going to be thrown if they continue to play this illegal touching 5 yards past the line of scrimmage on cornerbacks.
It's so annoying.
I mean, and I don't get me wrong. Like it helped the Vikings a lot. Now, okay, if I am Kevin O'Connell, if I am making that decision in the first quarter, I'm probably playing a positional battle or, a field position battle there. I'm not taking that 56-yard field goal. Like, that's Greg Joseph's long. So I'm probably not taking it in the first quarter when, it's 7. I think it was 7-0 at that point. Like, I'm trying to pin them deep, let my defense come in, get a stop.
Right.
But instead, you give it to them, or no. They had just missed a field goal. I apologize. So Detroit just missed a field goal. The Vikings get to, the 46-yard line, go to kick a field goal, 56-yarder. He misses it. That's his career long. I'm punting it, trying to pin him deep. Their punter has been pretty darn good this year. So, okay, let the defense play. But instead, you give them short field, they go down and score right away.
Right.
What happens later on in the game? Same exact kick, same exact result, pushes it right, short field position, Detroit goes down and scores. And so, I don't know. I guess at that point, maybe later on in the game, you take that 56-yard chance just because you're already losing. But right away, I'm just saying field position battle wins that game. Now,
and it does, because then Detroit turned around and gave it right back to you guys to win. So
yeah, exactly.
They should have punted that one away. He knows the mistake. Everyone knows it. You don't attempt a 54-yarder.
That kicker. I'm a Vikings fan, so I know bad kickers. That kicker's bad. He's like 18 of 35 from 40 plus.
He's not good.
Regardless, he should never have kicked it. It should have been a punt, 100%.
100% of the time, but 18 of 35 from 40 plus. I know bad kicking. That's just, and the worst part is that dude beat out Greg Joseph at one point, who is the Vikings kicker.
So you guys, just good kickers all around.
So it's a great, nonetheless, 28-24 game.
4 missed field goals?
Yeah.
4. Yeah. There was 4 missed field goals.
Yep.
Good game. Good game.
Yeah, it was 28-24. I thought that game was destined to go into overtime. KJ Osborne, obviously, Kirk Cousins and him connected deep.
I don't know what defense they were playing. I don't know what happened.
I also don't know what's going on with Justin Jefferson. That dude has had some drops lately that he should not be dropping the ball. Now, was it as bad as CeeDee Lamb's wide open drop? No, it wasn't. But
F word.
But at the same time, like, he's just dropping the ball. He did it the week prior against Philadelphia. Something needs to change. You need to figure it out. They went back to the well and had success with it, and Thielen got some touches this week. And it gets a touchdown. That play that they scored on, that fake pitch to Thielen in the back of the end zone, great play call. A ton going on in a goal line formation, but at the same time, getting him involved is what they need to do if they're going to have some success.
You're right.
Yeah.
So
I think overall it's going to be good for the Vikings.
I agree. That if they would have lost,
even with Jefferson struggling.
Yeah, if they would have lost this game going to London against New Orleans, and I don't think New Orleans is a good team by any means, I don't know that they leave London with a win.
Right.
If they lose this game.
Well, but New Orleans got a solid defense.
Yeah.
They just can't score a point.
Hey,
Detroit looks good this year. I'm just going to put it out there.
Oh, yeah. But this is also a reason.
They can score. Their defense isn't good.
Yeah, they can score.
This is also a reason that I think the Eagles are actually legit. Right away was when we didn't really know who Detroit was, and they beat Detroit. Philadelphia beat Detroit. We're like, oh, okay. We thought Detroit was going to be good. They scored a ton of points. They came back, played against Philly, whatever it might be, and then all of a sudden now Philly beats Minnesota, and then Detroit and Minnesota, who me being a Homer fan, but at the same time, a lot of people thought Minnesota would be a good football team, decent football team, and now you're like, okay, Philadelphia is legit.
Detroit is going to get one from the Pack in Minnesota this year, I believe. Home and homes.
Probably.
I believe so.
Probably. And I think I said that in my predictions at the beginning of the year.
They could beat the Packers twice. Who knows at this point.
This next game though, Atlanta versus Seattle. Atlanta, I don't know if you guys are going to get the first overall pick because you guys are playing just decent football actually.
No, we are
They're too good on offense.
Exactly.
Too damn good on offense.
As long as they hold somebody to 26 points or less, they probably are going to win the game.
It's just really good overall. Offense, we got weapons. Even Mariota, although that sucked late in the game, which usually means it's over for us, right? We fumbled. We're in field goal range. And we just did a zone read. we had our rookie running back in, and you know this, Cole, in the mesh, the job of the running back is not to grab the ball. It is to be there, and if the quarterback pulls it, you don't hold on to it. That's exactly what happened. So I was like, at that point, watching, going, well, it's good. This is how we lose. Defense is going to let up touchdown, and there it is. But we didn't. We held. We finally got Pitts the ball. Mariota overthrew him 3 times for 3 touchdowns. So it could have been a lot.
At least better. 1 touchdown for sure.
Well, one for sure.
2 other potential.
I would have been super, super cool if he would have got at least that one.
Drake London's good,
too, because I have him on anytime touchdown.
I have him in fantasy. So.
I would have nailed my anytime touchdown with him and Kelsey, but whatever.
There's 3 people that need to touch the ball. Remember, there's 3 people that need to touch the ball for the Falcons, and that's
3.
Cordero Patterson, Drake London, and Kyle Pitts.
That's it. Those are the 3.
Yeah.
Rinse and repeat. Baldy, rinse and repeat.
They actually, they did for the most part at least target them in the correct spots. So, that's the bright spot in that.
The bright spot is that our line is holding up. Actually, that's the biggest surprise in the team in general for me. Is the fact our line is allowing Mariota time to throw. He's not scrambling and throwing. He is throwing when he hits his back foot, and people are open, and running lanes are wide open. So that's really cool to see in that development. And clearly, Arthur is being able to. He can scheme up an offense, and that's what we're seeing. I still don't think so. I don't think he's ready now. If we end up only winning 2 games in the next 6, yes. But this team can win, and is going to compete in every game. It's just a matter of where that ball bounces at some point. Which early on in the season, I picked them to go to the playoffs, and that's just because I didn't want to pick the Saints. I'm clearly not changing that, but now it's more like they could make it because they just got lucky on a couple bounces because they're in games, and the Saints are bad. That's it. That's why.
Fair.
And we score 27 points every game.
It's true.
That's what we do.
This next one, we goon locked on this next one. Sunday Night Football, San Francisco traveled to Denver.
What an
I don't know,
football game.
Such a bad football game. We pushed on the spread. We all took San Francisco, and the under. The under clearly hit, but we pushed on the spread of 1. San Francisco being a 1-point favorite. The total was at 44.5, and it hit 21.
I just want you to know in FanDuel it was 1.5.
Wait, we didn't push on the spread. Denver won that game.
What?
Denver won?
Yeah. He doesn't know what he's doing.
Why did I have that the other way? I think I was just so confident. No. You're exactly right.
Did Denver win the game?
Yeah.
I know
they scored 11.
I know they
and
physically.
San Francisco only scored 10.
I know they physically won the game, but
no, nobody won the game.
No one won the game. Yeah. Okay.
But by no means were we correctly pushing anything in that perspective.
Correct.
Garoppolo was freaking terrible,
except for the first drive.
And Wilson was as bad, if not worse, except for on one drive when he decided to run. And both teams are gross.
Yeah,
both teams are gross.
Let's see. Garoppolo was 18 for 29, 211.
No, but it wasn't that good. It felt like he might as well have been 9 for 29.
But also got sacked 4 times. Wilson was 20 for 33, also sacked 4 times.
Might as well have been 10 for 33.
It was so bad. So
it was
bad.
Awful.
Gosh, why did
awful.
I honestly think I saw that score 10-11, and I was just like, okay, this doesn't even matter. I'm just going to type this in.
It's because
I didn't watch.
So bad.
I couldn't watch the second half of that game.
No,
it was so bad.
I did not
either. And it sucked because it got off so promising. So promising.
Mm-hmm.
Just obviously punt, but there was some movement, just a couple missed throws, touchdown San Fran, and then all of a sudden it was like, well, none of us are going to do anything.
Which is
it was literally, you had to poke that game with a 10-foot pole.
So this is. I've talked to a few Broncos fans, and just me in general with Russell Wilson. Is it him, or is it the staff, of why he is so not willing to do what Russell Wilson is only good at.
I have no idea. I have no faith in Russell anymore, which is disappointing because I thought he'd have I thought the Broncos were a good fit for him.
Is he scared?
So I saw.
What is it?
I saw a breakdown.
I don't know. Sierra. I blame Sierra.
I saw a breakdown of stats between Russell Wilson and Geno Smith. Geno Smith, mind you, has 4 more passing attempts is all. He's got 79 completions. Russell Wilson has 63.
Oh, Geno's
Russell Wilson has 741 total yards, where Geno Smith has 717. So not a big difference there. Russell Wilson has 2 passing touchdowns. Geno Smith has 4. And
I mean,
if you're Denver,
not...
you just gave the farm the seeds to build another farm.
Right.
Your firstborn children, you let somebody else have them, right? Like, you gave everything for this guy to be.
That's what I mean. Like,
to be he's not even in the top 15 right now of quarterbacks in the NFL.
Who's protecting him? Is he protecting himself? Is he hurt, or is the team protecting him from running? Because that's the issue. He's not scrambling, and I don't even mean scrambling to run. He's not scrambling to throw like he usually does.
No,
he's doing nothing.
But I mean, the drive that they went down the field to take the lead, like that was the first time that you saw Russ look like Russ, in my opinion.
So maybe that's the catalyst. Maybe that's the drive.
I think it's all Russ. Like, to be completely honest.
Like putting too much pressure.
Distracted. No, I just think it's a distracted. Like, I think ultimately he'll probably be fine, but he's just not the same quarterback that he was when he came into the league. Like, just too much shit going on.
I mean, to be fair, he really hasn't been that top tier quarterback in my eyes for 3 years.
All right, but like, he saved Seattle a lot, and I think ultimately he'll end up saving Denver. Like, maybe for a playoff spot, something like that. But, like, I don't know. I've got my own feelings on the Dak Cowboys situation. I think there's probably a lot of similarities there that I am starting to admit more and more as I watch.
Speaking of that, let's get to it.
Another quarterback
just
play well in that system.
Light it up.
So a complete opposite trend here. That game started like it was going to look like it was going to be good. This game started like it was going to be Iowa versus South Dakota State.
Sure did. I had to turn it off, and then I was like, it's me. There's not scoring because it's me. Because I had anytime touchdowns by Zeke and Barkley and Lamb. When he dropped that one is when I kind of started tuning it off and being pissed at the Cowboys. Fair. And so then they start scoring in again, and I was like, all right, let's.
I mean, if you only have those 3 guys, then you won.
Correct. No, I made money on this game. I'm not super mad.
Okay.
At all. I'm more mad because it went under in regards to our situation, but like my parlays, my SGPs, I made $130. Thank the Lord.
I missed because I had Pollard to score instead of Zeke.
Yeah, that'll happen.
That's a Cowboys red zone issue, specifically inside the 10 issue
it is
of Kellen Moore being completely inept for whatever reason once we get inside the 15-yard line.
Why don't the Cowboys?
We are a disaster when we get inside the 15-yard line, whether it be personnel, whether it be formation, whether it be play type. Like, we look like a completely different. We look like a peewee football team when we get inside the 15-yard line.
So personnel-wise,
it's embarrassing.
Personnel-wise, why don't the Cowboys utilize Zeke and Pollard in ways that the Packers are starting to utilize Dillon and Jones? Like, put your best 11 guys on the field.
I mean, I can't even speak on the Packers because they're just as bad when they get into those situations. So don't get me wrong.
I agree.
But when you have the weapon, how you can get, like, it's so bad. It is Waterboy bad for what I can't even remember the coach's name in Waterboy that, like, the other coach just owns him and then he pictures him as a fucking dog or whatever. Yeah, right. And it's just like, that's what it reminds me of. Both Cowboys and Packers is they're like, why does everything have to change? Like, you just ran down the field because of X. Now let's score a touchdown also because of X.
Yeah,
let's not just completely change the playbook. Like, let's not go 2 tight ends, 1 receiver, 2, with a fullback or an extra tight end in the game and tell them exactly what we're doing. Correct. Like it's so maddening to watch what we're trying to do once we get inside the 15 when we have the ability to be so multiple with different guys. And the Packers are the same way, where they have Jones, Dillon, you got a couple, 2, 3. It doesn't even really matter at that point. Like, you've got a tight end and 2 receivers, but you got 2 backs where you can be so multiple with your play calls that the defense can't be right. Like, the offense in today's game is too multiple and available as far as what they can do for you to be wrong with those types of guys. And yet they line up and are so predictably bad that it makes you just want to throw up. So it's so bad.
Why not run like a pistol with Cooper Rush and shotgun, Zeke behind him, and have Pollard going in jet sweep motions from the slot where you can hit him on a swing route on the backside, or you can run a counter sweep there, or anything like that.
Or you can just like run RPO, and you can try to have like your RPO is okay. They want to bring 6 guys in the box, we'll run it. They want to bring 7 guys in the box, we're running RPO, and we got Lamb 1-on-1. Like,
hey, to be fair.
This is not rocket science, guys. These guys get paid millions a year, and this, like, I'm throwing shit.
They did run both of what they ran both of what you guys said. Pollard got 20 yards on a speed sweep doing that, and
not in the red zone.
And Lamb,
not in the red zone.
No, that's what I was.
Not in the red zone.
That was my point. I was getting to with Ryan because he was saying that. I said no, they did it. It was in the middle of the field.
Correct.
Just not
to
in the
drive,
red
zone. And then we forgot who we were.
Exactly.
We just don't want to do that when we want to score a touchdown. We just want to do that so we can kick a damn field goal.
Hey, to be fair, Lamb catches that ball. It is a touchdown
from 22 yards.
Just saying.
So then we'll jump down to our best bets here. Moneyline locks.
It's just a good thing they won, or I'd be a lot more.
Oh yeah, if they lost to the Giants, it would have been great. It really would have been great.
Moneyline.
I mean, they made Daniel Jones look like Lamar Jackson.
They did. That was
my
good.
gosh.
Speaking of Lamar Jackson, is just his stock is going up and up and up and up and up and up and up. That dude's going to get paid. The Ravens should have just bit the bullet and paid him at the beginning of the year because now he's going to be able to ask for more.
I don't know. The only problem I have with him is just like he's going to be fragile at some point in his career, and you can't give him a long-term contract. That's fair. I think ultimately he'll end up with the Ravens.
Well, yeah, but I mean the problem with his contract right now is he turned down the money. He wanted it all guaranteed, like Deshaun Watson.
Right, but who's going to sign him that's not the Ravens?
Well, no one.
The Colts?
Maybe after this
year. If I'm the Colts, absolutely.
I don't know. I don't think that team's built offensively, scheme-wise.
Absolutely. You put JT in that? Mm-hmm.
Pittman, Taylor, Molly, Cox.
I'm saying the coordinator is not. That's not him. It's not him. All right, to our locks.
Jumping to the bottom, Stoy and Cole both took the Ravens. No, you're good. Both took the Ravens. Yeah. Again, we just kind of hit on them with Lamar playing well.
Easy.
That one hit. I took San Francisco, who I thought won, but they didn't. Spread locks. Stoy took the Cowboys plus 2.5. That one hit. I took Philadelphia minus 6.5. That one hit. And Cole took the Rams minus 3.5. That one hit. Another one that was they tried to lose on an onside kick type deal.
Yeah, dumbasses.
Yeah, they really did.
Over-unders. Broncos, Niners for Stoy under 45. That clearly hit. I took the Vegas, Tennessee under 46.5. That one hit. Cole took the Packs Bucks over, which I kind of agree in the sense of how do
they gave up so many points in that game. Gosh, but yeah, it didn't hit. I get it.
Yep. D-Gen picks. You two dummies took the Lions. Actually,
No, I took Lions first half. Did you guys get that?
That one actually is probably like minus 175 at that point. The Vikings have not been good in the first half. So so that was probably, you wouldn't have been able to get it at 205. That one, it would have been less than that. And then I took the Jags, the Super Bowl winning Jags.
Yeah, damn straight.
They look good.
Dude, Lawrence looks like a completely different quarterback.
100%. His strides that he made from last year to this year is astronomical.
They're going to the playoffs.
That's urban-esque, non-urban.
Truth. So that's our recap for football. So shitty shot counter-wise, we actually went just under 50% in NFL and 55% in college football overall. Shitty shot for the NFL was Cole, bringing up the rear there. And then in college, it was Stoy.
Yeah.
Cole, one thing to be proud of, your best bets, you had 3 wins down at the bottom. So kudos to you.
2.
I'm talking overall. He had 3.
Oh,
whereas I think because I think last week he might have had 1.
Yeah, I think he had 1.
I was 1-7 last week, so let's be honest.
3 and 5, baby. Come on. All right, Cole's taking a big old swig of. Remind us again what you're drinking.
Hey, it's the old smoky salted caramel.
Yummy.
Okay.
It's delicious. I mean, let's not be incorrect here in saying that it's terrible, but let's just say that by sheer volume, we're doing good.
Perfect.
Hey, sometimes life's about volume.
Yeah.
So overall, Stoy already took his. You guys saw he took his lemon lime shitty shot for college football. Are we going to? Should we kind of run straight through this? Are we gonna break? Cole,
we got golf, and then we'll break.
Okay. Golf.
Yeah, to you guys, I'm here. So
Team USA just continues to crush it. Like I talked about, foursomes, 4-ball. Jordan Spieth with an undefeated record all weekend. JT was on track until he was made putt like what was it? Like a 1.5, 2 foot putt, something like that.
3 feet. It was 3 feet.
Okay, it probably was.
He thought it was 2.
He thought it was a gimme. More people would have probably said, "Yeah, go ahead, pick it up." But from that point, when he was 3 up, he ended up losing by 1 stroke.
So that was that. I mean, that's just gamemanship. That's
100%.
playing the game.
100%.
I don't know why he mentally allowed that to mess with him.
He just was pissed off, and I get it. But
how are you pissed off 3 up?
I don't know. I think he was just annoyed. Rather than pissed off, I think he was just like, okay, are you shitting me right now? I'm kicking the shit out of you. Why are you doing this?
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
he's an all-star player. You should be smart enough to know that's coming at some point on that day. Has to.
Yeah, but final score
was doing a toll all day.
I mean, not only that, but like you've got to know that like not only are you 3 up, but your team is what? I mean, 6 points, 5 points up at that point, and you're one of the first matches off. Like you're gonna have to putt putts that.
Like they're coming,
and not to mention, like they've done the same thing over the last couple of days. Like, I mean, like also you're professional golfers.
Make the putt.
Like make the damn putt.
Make the damn putt.
Yeah. And I'm just like I don't know
like
one way or the other.
Than a tournament when you're trying to win.
You see that, and you see that he doesn't do good afterwards. Like you could tell that they were kind of coming at each other back and forth. But I mean, did that? Like it doesn't look good for JT because he doesn't end up winning, but you know how much difference does that make one way or the other? Like you just don't like to see like make the putt, walk to the next hole, and then go win.
Don't be
like don't lose.
Don't be a little bitch. Just do it.
But as is tradition though, like we talked about, like so when it came down to the singles day, at one point I think it was like 8-4 that the international team was winning at one point. It ended up being that the U.S. won 6 matches, the international team won 5, and then they tied 1. But again, just like you talked about, Cole, like that last day, the international team, it's very, very close.
If they could figure out 4-ball, I would be interested to see what Sundays look like.
The thing that the international team doesn't have as much of that the U.S. team has is, like, for example, whoever Cam Young plays with for the most part, he's going to crush the ball down. the fairway. Like that dude, we saw him cut the corner on, I think it was on day one, and it was insane how he was like 40 or 50 yards ahead of whatever team that they were playing. And I think that's what the international team is missing a little bit, is some of that length that the U.S. gets. But highlight for the international team is the fact that Tom Kim was like winning over the crowd.
Yeah.
Fun.
He was eating everything up. He was pumping the crowd up as they were yelling at him and awesome. Doing the and his backswing. Like he was just loving it. And then all of a sudden people started to cheer for the guy.
Order me some good food.
What are you getting for food?
Hey, Joe's gonna order me some good food.
Oh, nice. Was that like that was the menu you gave him?
He said, "Order me some good food."
Order me good food. Got it.
He's fat and knows I like food, so it's fine.
Joe, go for the shittiest food.
He's trying to put deodorant on right now. It's falling out of the thing.
Oh boy, you guys are.
Loss.
You guys are.
We're doing good.
We're doing well.
Ultimately, no. Like all weekend came down to putting.
Yeah.
International couldn't make putts.
But then the afternoon of the Saturday round, the international team was making putts outside of 10, 15 feet.
That's finally made it somewhat competitive.
Exactly. They started to make those putts, and the U.S. was missing some of those putts. Like Cam Young, I watched him lip out on some 4 or 5 footers back-to-back where they're in prime position, and it's like, okay, they're going to birdie this, and then all of a sudden international team hits a 12-footer for birdie, and you just lip out, and all right, there's another one.
But, yeah, I mean, ultimately you look back on it, and it all came down again to alternate shot.
Very lucrative if you did round robins this weekend, by the way.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
I mean, obviously Spieth, JT dominated, Homa dominated, but favorite player of the weekend, I think all around, including the U.S. guys. At the end of the day, is everybody loves Tom Kim.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Young gun.
I mean, I don't think there was a lot of surprises overall. Like it kind of went exactly how we expected.
Yeah.
Obviously, we got a little bit of drama on Sunday, which is fun, made it worth watching. But ultimately, what happened. Tom Kim kind of exploded on the scene for the internationals. Max Homa has continued to explode onto the scene. JT and Spieth did their thing. Cantlay and Schauffele did their thing. So a lot of predictability, but at the same time, a little bit of entertainment, and it's always fun to watch the emotions of those matches, in my opinion.
Absolutely.
There's not a lot of times. I don't know. Maybe JT and Spieth is probably the only time that I would ever take somebody to beat Xander and Cantlay. Like that team is just unreal.
To see those twosomes,
like
those four compete against each other,
it's just unreal. Like that would be those guys playing whatever it might be, best ball or alternate shot. Like
play for a mill.
We talked about it. Spieth and Thomas play so similar that alternate shot just fits them so well.
Boy, they were lights out. It didn't matter what they were playing.
Yeah.
They figured whatever was ailing them as a team before.
At the Ryder Cup, they were not good.
They figured it out.
Not good at the Ryder Cup, and then all of a sudden just
and I actually think from the Ryder Cup perspective, Spieth improved.
Yeah.
Before the Ryder Cup, he you know what I mean? Like he got better because he was in a slump going into all of that.
Yeah.
Now he's better, and I think that's what helps the team. But I mean, he's playing phenomenal.
I knew I think day one we watched this shot together. Thomas pulled the ball left into the trees, into the straw, off to the mulch, and it was like 165 out, and Spieth put it to about 5 feet, and I'm like, yep, they're gonna play pretty good this weekend.
All right. He's gonna make it.
That was like 6 holes in, and I'm like, oh yeah, it's gonna be a long weekend for the internationals here.
Yeah, and that was kind of the beginning of the end for the international.
Yeah, real quick. So, all right, we're going to take a quick commercial break. Then we'll get into – there's a couple clips I want to show. And then we'll dive into this week's picks.
Oh, we'll be muted for a little bit.
Welcome.
Sounds good.
Our fireside chat. This one's going to be It's going to be hot. A couple of topics will be overall trust in a relationship between your planner and yourself.
It's our job to figure out what's in the best interest for you.
We have to start this thing early.
How do I play this game patient enough to see this trade turn to fruition?
Real estate in general can have a lot of tax benefits to you.
Listen and subscribe to the No BS Wealth podcast on YouTube or wherever you get your podcasts.
All right, so we can talk for a little bit, Cole. Perfect.
You can't hear us with our commercial. Fun fact.
Can he not?
No, they can't hear us. I don't know if Cole can, but I know they can't.
All right, say Ingle, you there?
Here.
Okay, he's back.
Present. It only runs through once, by the way. Did you notice that?
You guys didn't have to pee today, huh?
No. Nope.
Did you notice that?
Just got the cut up for Chris, who I have not been timestamping. Whoops.
Whoops, Meduser. We could just go straight to whatever. I don't know. We'll go back. And we're back. All right. Cole can't see these, so he's kind of effed in this regard. Good luck, Cole. All right. First little clip
Turn
here.
the volume off for these.
Yeah, they are.
Perfect.
By the way, you've probably seen it, Cole, but Miami, Mid-Tennessee State, or Mid-Tennessee, right? Just how bad Miami looked top to bottom.
Oh, my God.
This is the mesh. This is the speed sweep shotgun play. like just the epitome of the day. Oh, yeah, speed sweep. Running back. Oh, no. Oh, that's all right. I'm going to get some yards. Nope, I'm going to run backwards, and I'm going to get a loss of 5 yards.
Which then could have been called for a face mask on his stiff arm right there.
What? Miami, what are you doing? How did you F this up so bad?
So this is the action that we were talking about with Zeke and Pollard.
Right. Like, just not good. Not good at all.
I mean, in a weird way, if he would have been able to just try and get upfield, he probably could have at least gotten back to the line of scrimmage right there.
Yeah.
Like, just go right upfield right now.
Maybe. I mean, number 11 or 41's coming. That's a face mask, by the way. Coming pretty hard. But yeah, that one I had to show just because it was just like, that's just embarrassing. One that we had to show is just
SF Austin.
Stephen F.
Warner.
Austin just scoring 98, went for 2 to get to 100, which, I mean, at that point,
Who gives a
I probably maybe might do it. Did it not cut to
us? Yeah.
Man, the fans didn't see that. Why didn't it cut?
I mean, that's the stop of the day.
What? Hold, please. I'm not getting anything.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on.
There's only one button I push, and that's transition. Okay. Back to live. Oh, here we go. We're back. I don't know what happened. So we'll be all right. We'll survive. But anyways, we can put this on repeat. But just like everyone heard what we said. But here's the play. It's just like I just don't.
Bada bing, bada boom.
Miami, you're awful. You deserve to lose. All right. And then we get to Stephen F. Austin. Like, wow.
Like Cole said, stop of the day.
98 points. Like you're up 70 or 59 points at half. Like, are we putting freshmen in? Like, what are we doing at that point? And like, just not good. That's a lot of points. Have you ever been beat? Not that bad. Clearly, no one really has. Has anyone been beat so bad like this in any sport?
I mean, not that bad.
You mean number of points or giving up?
Just
like I remember in a high school game, we played the team that actually eventually won the state championship that year, and we gave up. I think it was like we lost like 100 and something to 49. But like I had like a career high in that game on the losing end.
Dope.
This was on a basketball score. But it's like point of pride type of thing. Like, oh yeah, I had my career high, but like we gave up 101 to like 3 D1 guys and a couple other guys that were real good, like type of thing. When my sophomore year of high school, when I was starting on varsity, is like, like a buddy of mine got his shot blocked off the scoreboard type of thing. Like, but like that's what this game reminded me of. Like, just oh, we're glad the other team showed up to scrimmage with us.
Yeah, it's bad.
Yeah, it's bad. Next graphic is just middle of the later in the game of the Washington Eagles. The Eagles have 323 pass yards. The Commanders have -1.
-1.
That is absurd.
Real quick, just to explain how that happens is like the Eagles have thrown for positive yards, but any sack yards are counted as negative. So like the the Commanders had negative yards between yards allowed per sack plus positive yards allowed.
The Eagles front seven,
but we're saying
line is pretty solid.
At this point, they only had like 40 or 50 yards passing, and it's late in the game, so it's not like we're saying they had 100 million sacks. Like they still weren't passing very well either.
No, but they were they were like -45 at that point in sacks, though.
Yeah, it's just a funny stat to watch to see.
Yeah, bad. Just bad.
Just bad. Just bad football. Bad football. A good clip. I want to get your guys' opinion on this one. This is the Bills OC just losing it after the game.
Ken Dorsey,
just
former Miami Hurricane,
just absolutely losing it. Which we've all been there. I feel that pain.
He lost it. That was the point where they failed to be able to get the spike for the field goal to win the game, right?
Right.
Yeah, I think he lost it because of the fumbling.
So like the previous drive, Josh Allen threw the ball onto the ground on a wide open play action.
Wide open. Don't know what was that?
Second game in a row where on a third, fourth and short type of play, Josh Allen has biffed throws. Like,
yeah.
I'm talking like any one of the three of us, biff type of throw, ball into the ground, don't give your receiver a chance, nothing. And so I think it was a culmination of the Bills had, and you guys can look this up to verify for me, but I want to say the Bills had 200 plus total yards offense more than the Dolphins and like ran 50 more plays. I think it was like 93-40 on plays in this game. Bills absolutely dominated this game other than the scoreboard.
So it was 495 total yards to 212 total yards.
That's 283 for those scoring at home.
Total plays, 90 total plays for the Bills, 39 for the Dolphins. So
that's 51 for those scored.
By the way, in Miami when it was hot.
Yeah, a lot of cramping, a lot of other BS going on. Dolphins going to get harshly reviewed for letting Tua come back into the game with a very, very likely concussion.
It was a back injury, okay?
No.
His back
Did you?
Yeah, no, I saw
yeah,
it.
Right.
You're
I think one of my favorite.
Tua came back in with a concussion. I mean, all of those things happened. Ultimately, the Bills pissed this game down their leg. Yeah. It's their one game of the year. They're now going to be 16-1 instead of 17-0. So
you said 15-win season. So this is one of their losses.
I was waiting for that.
Right. They had to go 15-2. So they've got to step on their, a couple of times. So
there was a tweet out there. Some lady tweeted, she's like, based off of the heat and them not providing sunblocks and air conditioning or fans on the sidelines, isn't that an OSHA violation?
Right.
We'll cut to a pick real quick of PointsBet put out. Kyler Murray is now 3 and 63 when Call of Duty has a 2XP weekend. just good
Amen.
stuff. Just good stuff overall.
Just the truth.
We've got that T. Higgins catch, which is absurd.
Which was a catch.
That's what I'm saying. It was a catch. I mean, that's a catch. Ocho Cinco, the better 85, actually. He says, Chad Johnson says, Exhibit 1, why T. Higgins is the better 85. I can't do shit like this.
Right. But they called that, how'd they call that incomplete?
I'm not sure. That was probably one of the greatest catches. Like, to get
Like
the
the
toes
defender
down?
kicked the cone over.
Yeah, not to mention, like, his toes, and there's dirt that pops up. Like,
Right.
Like, you can see it. Like,
Yeah.
and simple.
100%.
Always got to throw up an Iowa stat because, why not? Iowa is 131st out of 131 teams in scoring offense and 1 out of 131 in scoring defense. No matter how the season goes, Hawk fans will always remember it. We joked about that earlier, that would happen. It is currently happening. I obviously am a homer, but I wanted to show this Falcons clip, not the whole clip. I wanted to show this first play. And I told you guys in the chat, like, as a linebacker, I don't know if I've seen split zones. I've seen, those types of plays. I don't know if I've ever seen what Baldy was calling a split block or whatever, like scissors or whatever. And as we show this play, as a linebacker, I'm looking through the guard, depending which side you're on. I'm looking through the guard to, if there's a fullback, because typically the fullback takes you to the play. But as you're looking through the guard to your fullback, you can see the running back take his step. And as this play goes, you've got, it's in slow motion. Why is it in slow motion? Come on, Baldy. You've got basically zone action taking you to the ball. You've got running back and fullback both going that way. So now I'm going probably either over to my other gap or I'm playing over the top. And what happens is then the fullback does a split zone and comes all the way back to the A gap as opposed to the C gap where it hits. Now, some will say that this play was designed to hit the A gap, but just based upon Patterson's path, it wasn't. It was supposed to hit B. And fullback goes all the way back to the backside A, I believe. And that as a read would have been awful. And what happens here, if I can try to slow it down, is this front side linebacker right here, 57, is reading what I just told you to read. And now he's reading fullback go back, and it freezes him because it's against his normal reads. Freezes him, which gets the center up to him, gets locked up, and Patterson's out the gate through the B, and that's how he scored his touchdown. That was just a beautiful design. I wanted to make sure that fans got to see that one because that one was like, that one lit up to me. Yes, I am a Falcons fan, but as a defender, like, if I'm that linebacker, you're playing it the exact same way. You're taking to your read, and that ball was right up his gap. He could have just ran right through and got him, but from a read perspective, took him out of that play. So it was really good. I enjoyed the hell out of it.
There's so many things the Falcons can do, I feel like, because of their personnel that, that's what I love about their offense right now.
Oh, yeah. It's and you guys go to that clip. We've tweeted it on our Twitter as well. It breaks down, Baldy breaks it down pretty cool of all the different things that the Falcons are doing offensively. Arthur Smith's dialing up some great things, and it's really hard on the defense to defend. Clearly, They've played – the Seahawks defense might not be great, but the Rams pretty solid, and the Saints defense is pretty damn good this year too. So, and they've done it to each one of those teams. So look that up. Other quick clip. Everyone has to see the Colorado buff, what he was doing in the middle of their game, just playing solitaire with himself
in the end zone. In the end zone.
Well,
in the field of play.
No, the back of the end zone. It's on their little hill, behind the end zone. But hilarious. They're just so bad. He's just going to play solitaire, which, by the way, was pre-planned. Like, it was pre-planned. They
100%.
knew they were going to get blown out, so that was all a pre-planned situation.
Yep.
As always, we'll tweet out some of these things that we got in here, but I wanted to show those quickly before we got into our picks overall. Some game film stuff and whatnot. But before we get into our picks, there was something that actually popped up today, and that better cut back over, from one of our former teammates who's a collegiate coach, Pat Cashmore, reached out to our group of fifth years and had said, hey, I've got some players that are struggling with football being their only identity. And I say football in this because that's what he is. He's a football coach. But also I'm going to rely on Ryan on this just from a collegiate athlete standpoint. Football is, for us, Cole, for Ryan, it's wrestling. Like, it is who we are. It makes up our identity. No matter what we do in life, like, you're a football player, you're a wrestler. Like, that is what we are. And I just wanted to highlight those out there that are athletes, former athletes, current athletes, to-be athletes. Your sport is your identity. That's okay. Just take that skill that you've learned, which there's a lot of skills in every sport that we have, and try to find a different passion for you and apply those same ones. But that feeling of emptiness or don't know what you're going to do or lack of the team and support that you've had for your whole life up to that point, that doesn't go away. It always is there. And I don't know what else to say besides that. Like, it's always there. Just, you got to find another passion and try to grind. It will get better, but rely upon those other collegiate athletes, whether it is like a Ryan as a wrestler with us or Cole and I are teammates. Rely on them afterwards and still stay close, because that's really what you have. But you've got to apply the skills you've learned from your sport to some type of thing, passion in your life.
Yeah, I mean,
Right.
I can kind of echo that. I mean, we've talked about it in the past, and I talked about it a little bit in my intro. I didn't know, so I got hurt early on in my career, broke my neck, had neck surgery, wasn't really sure what I was going to do after that, right? Wrestling was all I knew. That's why I went to college. What was I going to do? You know, I had aspirations that, hey, you know, I had people looking at me for baseball. Maybe I'd go play baseball. And that's honestly what I was going to do. If I figured out after the first time that I hurt my neck, if I couldn't wrestle again, I was going to go transfer and play baseball. Just because I wasn't that tied to you and I yet, hadn't met my now wife yet or any of that stuff. So I was like, oh, okay, I have options. But it does consume you in a sense of, you go to school and you go to practice, and that's what you do. And the people that you surround yourself with are every single day are your teammates. Now, and that's absolutely not a bad thing by any means, because that means that you're surrounded by like-minded people that are probably going through the exact same things as you are. And just like you said, lean on it, utilize it, figure out other passions, whether it's I don't even know. Like, it
could be anything.
It literally could be anything. And there's so much opportunity and weird stuff nowadays with weird hobbies that if you got a weird hobby, lay into it a little bit.
Absolutely.
Right. No, I just think it's more so just utilizing that, all of the things that lead you to being, you know, even a semi-successful student athlete at any level of college, like the discipline, the leadership, just the mindset overall it takes, regardless of even overall success. Like, realize you're so far ahead in the field of everyone else that hasn't been given that opportunity, and really realize it as an opportunity and not a burden overall of utilizing that, whether it be from a networking perspective, a connection perspective, or just an overall, life lesson perspective of whatever field it is that you think you might go into, or, any passion that you want to go into, or, even if you're starting off, at a lower level than you thought you might be, like, just utilize that mindset and whatever it takes, early on, just know that, like, whether you had to grind in football or whether you had to grind in wrestling or, grind in life, like, it's the same type of grind. And that, if you continue to put forth that effort, like, you're going to get to where you want to be.
Absolutely. And for those listening, whatnot, reach out to us. We'll help you. We'll connect dots. We have a giant network that we know, and others on the platform also. If you need help or wanting to have an interest that you don't know how to get connected to, let us know. I've learned that athletes are connected all over the world, more so
100%.
than coming out of college, that athletes will gravitate to each other no matter what, in any sport. So just reach out. We'll be here to support you. But all right, let's get to college football this week. I think it's a solid slate.
It's a weird slate. That's what it is. College football. Let's start from the bottom. Wake Forest versus Florida State. Number 22 traveling to number 23. Florida State's 6.5-point favorites after Wake Forest. Maybe it's because they had a grind. Maybe it's because they're going into hostile enemy territory. But 6.5 is a lot of points for this game. Florida State's a good football team.
Give me Wake Forest. Give me Wake
65.
Forest. Come on, Demon Deacons. Let's go.
Money line
They're
and spread.
covering. They're winning. They're covering. I don't care. Florida State's not as good as Clemson.
I can agree with that. I can agree with that.
And give me the over. I don't care what the number is.
All right, Cole. You don't have to be a copycat. 65.5 is the over, by the way.
All right, beautiful.
It's
38-31. Florida State's going to take the L.
Florida State's at 7, 6, and then 65 for the total on DraftKings, by the way. I literally don't know. I really don't. So I'm gonna go with the home team. Give me the Noles.
I mean, part of you loves that.
I mean, I love the Noles. The old school Noles. They have been pretty bad lately. But
he says, I don't know. I'm a Florida State fan.
But give me the Noles, and I'll ride with the under actually.
It is a very high total for you.
You taking the Noles to cover too?
Yeah, I am. It's gonna be a sloppy game. I don't know if Wake Forest will be ready for that. You guys, there's a hurricane. Don't know if you guys knew that, but there's a hurricane coming. All right, so
that's fair.
The game
They're going to
also
cancel the game. Is what you're telling.
The game probably will get it canceled. On top of that, but I'll ride with Noles on that one.
All right, so Florida State under, Wake Forest over for us other two. Game number two, Bama, 17.5-point favorites, travels to number 20, Arkansas, 60.5 is the total. I mean, this is very simple for me in my eyes. I'm going Bama under. I don't have really much to say here.
DraftKings got them at 17 and then 60.5, just to put some stuff in there.
This one is just very easy for me to pick, I think.
Arkansas Holmes, they're a different squad. Just saying. You're going under?
Yeah.
I'll ride with that, dude.
I'll go Bama to win, Arkansas to cover, and the under.
Yeah, I'm also gonna go Bama, Arkansas under.
Well, at least we agreed on a few things. Why did I put Arkansas? Ooh, that was about to be rough for you. I put Arkansas right away on the money line.
Woo!
It's like, good pick, Story.
Only if it misses.
Yeah.
Or hits.
Next game, this is where it gets kind of weird. Number 9, Oklahoma State traveling to number 16, Baylor. Baylor 2.5-point favorites with 56.5 as the total. For me, I mean, the only reason that Baylor's favored is because it's in Waco, and Spencer Sanders typically struggles against Baylor. Baylor likes takeaways. Spencer Sanders has thrown like 10 interceptions in 4 games against Baylor.
Where the hell is this game? Got it.
But if we're talking about sheer better team, at the beginning of the year, I think this would have been a tougher pick. Now, seeing some things, Oklahoma State's a better team than Iowa State. Now, Baylor did win that game and went into, a road game, tough test. But I like Oklahoma State money line, so obviously spread, and I like the over in this game, I think.
I like the Cowboys as well, but I like the under.
I concur with Cole on that statement.
Wow. Okay, so this is actually kind of surprising to me because we have seen this in the past couple weeks when underdog ranked team is at home. They typically have won these games. It's just been that way.
About to see it again.
Let's flip the script, hopefully. But then we jump up to basically the exact same thing. I don't know how it got to 6.5, but number 7 Kentucky travels to number 14 Ole Miss. Ole Miss is 6.5-point favorites. This is a 54.5 total. Another SEC matchup here. Kentucky's getting back. Kentucky's had some line issues, and Ole Miss has been very good on defense in their defensive line, getting to the quarterback, getting pressure. Kentucky gets their running back, who was the leading SEC rusher last year, and they get a starting guard back. I don't know how this is at 6.5. Doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. Like, I don't.
Give me the under.
I don't. Right. I don't know. There's not enough about Ole Miss this year to tell me anything. Ultimately, they haven't played anybody.
Yeah.
They just haven't. At least Kentucky's played Florida and beat them handily. But like Ole Miss only beat Tulsa by 8, but it was before this game, so do they look past them? They destroyed Georgia Tech, but Georgia Tech's not very good. So like, where does any of the stats tell you about Ole Miss that they're going to compete very well in the SEC?
It's literally just that Ole Miss has a really, really good defensive line and defensive front, and Kentucky is very, very weak on the line. So they think that they're going to get to Kentucky's quarterback. I don't know. I don't agree with it. So I got Kentucky over, actually, because I think there's going to be points scored. Yeah, I'm on a little bit more of an over week, I think.
I'll take Ole Miss to win, but I think Kentucky will cover, and I think the under.
I'm gonna ride with Kentucky under.
So a little bit of discrepancy here. We think that Kentucky is definitely better than what they're giving 6.5 points. I don't understand that portion. Kentucky and the points seems to be the play here, is what I'm reading into out of our picks. And then our game of the week, possibly the ACC game of the year, if you really look at it. NC State, number 10, NC State traveling to number 5, Clemson.
That includes the ACC championship.
Oh, yeah, probably. 6.5-point favorites. Clemson is at home. 40.5, lowest total that we have on the docket.
This game doesn't make any sense to me.
I don't agree with that.
I mean, this is an NC State cover. Clemson showed me nothing against Wake Forest is the problem that I have.
They scored.
Give me the over. Give me NC State. Give me NC State. Like, I don't understand.
This isn't the game that Clemson loses. They find a way to win. So give me Clemson, NC State to cover, and then the over. They'll find one to choke down their face, which should have been last week. But I don't think it's this one coming home. But I think 40's low, personally.
Yeah.
It's just too low.
I actually think 40.5 isn't a terrible number for this game. Devin Leary is more of a game manager. Clemson really hasn't played that great of a defense. NC State has a pretty darn good. I mean, they have a top 10 defense this year. As long as NC State can stop Will Shipley, they'll be fine. So I got NC State, and I got the under.
Man, this is gonna be a week. We're all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, there is some fantastic lines, in my opinion, in college football that just don't make sense. That I think are, I say easy bets, which means they'll lose. But there is a few in here that are just like, oh,
Are you able to Bluetooth this call? I just got a message from the wife.
Yeah? Question mark?
Because I'm gonna call in. That's what's gonna happen. Yeah.
Well, you have to
I have to end this call. Cole, be prepared for joint ad call, conference call. Wife calls. You gotta go. Miss Willow Joe.
Willow Joe doing her thing.
Well, doing something.
Yeah. It might not be hers, but it's a thing.
It's a thing.
The hell's this thing called?
Rodecaster Pro. You might not have it.
I don't see it.
Let me completely disconnect from my Bluetooth. It might not allow you to find it.
I have AB Shutter 3.
No, it's called Rodecaster Pro.
Oh, I have to push the discover button, probably.
Are you able to type yet?
No. It's now discoverable. Tap Rodecaster. Okay, yeah, that's what I'm trying. There she is. There she is. I probably should get off my YouTube because that will be loud. Wouldn't that be bad? Toodles. Yeah, text me, and then I'll conference you in. I'm all by myself. Here I am just, playing DJ, doing everything because everyone left me. If you want to be a guest, let me know.
Hi, you reached Cole Engel.
And then Cole didn't even answer. Did you guys hear that? All right. As we continue on, I'll get to Ryan's locks if I can find them on my whatever. Doesn't matter. No, it does matter. You know why it matters, fans? Because I need to tell you who they're playing. FanDuel or DraftKings organization over FanDuel is not. No, I don't like it. What the hell is this Washington game?
All right.
You went with the no ring thing again.
Did it? Did it not ring?
Yeah. Let me get. I don't. Cole didn't answer, so let me try him again.
Yeah.
Yeah, he didn't answer.
Yeah, he's struggling with service in Riverside, so I wonder if it's just
That's fair.
messed up.
But
for him there.
we were going.
But I'm here.
We were going through your locks, and I was trying to find the Washington who they're playing, but DraftKings' organization is not the same.
They
as
are
FanDuel.
playing.
Give me a time. It's usually later, right?
Who did they?
Oh, there it is. I found it. It's 9:30. It's Friday. That's why.
It did make sense. That's why
Washington is favored 3 over UCLA at -155 on DraftKings or -146 on FanDuel.
Wait, they're favored?
They're favored. Washington is favored.
Where did I see something different?
I don't know. You have them as moneyline lock as favorites, so I don't.
What do I? Oh, as a money line lock. I was thinking DGen pick right away. Yes.
Yeah,
I also think that's just as stupid.
I don't
understand. Like UCLA isn't that good.
I don't.
Because you did the Pac-12 game. Washington's a good team.
They are a good team. Again, that was one of those ones. I'm like, I don't know what some of these lines are. That's one of them. You got Houston, Tulane. Houston's only 2.5-point favorites. There's some lines in here that are they might know something more than we. Maybe that's it.
Yeah, and maybe, obviously, like, getting the NFL picks in the future, maybe, that's like a Cincinnati thing. They know something about Tua that we don't. But, yeah, I don't know. So, Washington there.
Yep. And
spread lock.
A&M. Got A&M.
Oh, yeah.
Hell is
A&M is dogs to Mississippi State.
Yeah. 3.5-point dogs.
And we just talked about Mississippi State having a schedule to set them up that, puts them in a very, very good spot. A&M is the same time, has a schedule that could put them in a very, very good spot.
That one's crazy.
A&M's going to lose. They're going to lose again. A&M is going to lose again, but I don't think it's Mississippi State.
Then you've got your over-under lock, ASU versus USC at over 60.5.
I know it's very weird because USC just scored 17 points against Oregon State.
Right.
But, I mean, Caleb Williams, USC, all their transfers, I mean, they've been really good this year. I just think they might score 45 and get, 21 out of Arizona State.
I could see that. That tracks.
So that's one. Maybe it's something similar to Kent State and Georgia, where we see 39-22 or whatever. Well, that wouldn't even hit there, so I'm not going to say that. So
no, it's fine. I mean, you're right. But yeah, absolutely. You got NC State over Clemson for your DGen at plus 210 on DraftKings.
I mean, I have to take it. It's 202, I think, on FanDuel.
Yep.
I have to take that one. Like I said, I had Clemson in the playoff this year. If they don't win this game, they're not making the playoffs. If they win this game, they have a pretty darn good shot. I think a lot of the odds makers have Clemson at like a 84% to win this matchup. I'd have to look at some of those metrics again, but I don't think NC State. They're kind of like Miami in a sense that like nobody's giving them the credit that they deserve. Like the Dolphins are playing pretty good football this year. NC State's a good football team. I mean, they're well coached. They have an old quarterback that is more of a game manager. Just because he's not lighting up the scoreboard all the time doesn't mean that he's not good.
Absolutely. There's just some crazy. There's some just weird lines in here. Not gonna lie, but I'll ride with mine. I'll try Cole here in a little when I'm done with mine because I don't need him talking in my ear. Where did my don't refresh? Woo! Almost messed that up. So I've got my spread lock first. I got KU plus 3 at home versus Iowa State. Tell me.
Yeah, I saw that one.
Tell me why would KU not be favored at home? Undefeated, playing well against Iowa State, who just lost to Baylor, which they were favorites. Someone explain that.
I did see that one. I liked it, but Iowa State's a decent football team, but Kansas has proven time and time again that, hey, don't overlook us. We're good. We're good enough to keep continually win these games.
I think
West Virginia,
right? In
my eyes, this is a West Virginia-Kansas game in a sense. To my eyes, that's why I think Kansas might win this game.
I think it's a lot of it's probably the KU bias, right? Like ultimately, just the simple fact of it's KU. They're not supposed to be good, type of thing.
Yeah.
Like no one knows that, and no one believes them still. But I'm gonna ride with them. I'm gonna ride with them. My money line lock is give me Washington State minus 190 over Cal. Cal has not been good at football this year. I don't.
And Washington State just played a good Oregon team. That's a great pick.
And it's at Washington State. So let me ride on that one. Over under Michigan, Iowa, under 42.
Anything at Kinnick that has a 4 in front of it, take the under.
like locked, guaranteed. Just lock that one in. What he just said. At Kinnick with a 4 under it. Done.
I like that game. Like, I still think Michigan gets close. I think last I saw it was like -10.5, -11. I still think it gets close to around there. But I think it's like a 24-14 game.
I mean, I also see it 17-3. I just like.
Yeah.
Be
I mean,
real.
Iowa's defense is unreal.
Yeah, like, it's just not going to be a lot of points. Just not going to be a lot of points. The game I really wanted to take as my DGen, and I'll go check FanDuel real quick, is Indiana over Nebraska at plus. It's plus 180 on DraftKings. Only because Nebraska's just not good.
Yeah, I mean that's fair.
But
that's fair.
I have to check and see if I can get it. I doubt it is. It shouldn't be.
It might get up to like 186, but I don't see it being any higher than that.
No, I agree. Great. Now I have to find it. I wish these apps would have them in the same order. It would make life a lot easier.
Yeah, I don't know why they don't. I don't understand that either.
Where'd it go? It's got to be a day game. There's no way.
Cole sent me his. I don't know if he's just like if he sent this a long time ago and it didn't come in, but he did send me his.
I'll try to call him in again.
His NFL picks.
Oh, that's good. I'm gonna try him again. No, Nebraska's plus 188 on that. Let me get a DGen. Let's find a DGen that I like.
I mean, the NFL has the easiest DGens that you can take because there's only 2 of them that you can pick, and there's only one good team out of those DGens. So.
Just because we were talking about this earlier, let me ride with Auburn over LSU. That's fair.
It's always a good game.
Plus 270.
Is it in Death Valley?
No.
Okay.
Right? So give us a chance there, right? Give us a chance there. All right. Let's kick it over to the NFL. All right. A little Thursday night opener. Miami Cincy.
Gross.
Thursday night football games are worse. NFL, stop those, please. Dolphins.
All those Cincinnati, if you can look it up at all, Cincinnati uniforms for that are filthy.
I can get behind that. They're plus. It's plus
great.
4 on DraftKings, by the way, and it's 3.5 at FanDuel for the Bengals. And we talked about this earlier. It's only got to be because of the Tua situation. For those that don't remember or know or didn't see or whatever the hell you weren't doing this weekend, Tua got concussed. I'm not a doctor. But when
look like Bambi on ice skates.
Right. When you go down and then you try to get up and you look like Bambi, it's usually not because your back got hit. It's because your head's all loopy. So I'm going to assume the reason that line is that way is solely because the unknown of Tua. I know I looked yesterday at the SGP on that for the passing props, and Tua wasn't in there. Tua's still not in there. So I think I personally believe, and as a team we believe too, that it's the simple fact of we don't know if Tua's playing or not. Which makes making this pick on a Tuesday really difficult. I'm not going to bet. I'm not betting right now. I will wait until that decision for that game. Personally, now we will make our bets based on the fact of who we're going to believe Tua is playing, and that's what we're going to make our bets on right here when we on the line here, because you're on the line now since you're not in the studio. That's what we'll make our bets on, but it's Tua's up in the air, so just beware there.
Yeah, you're gonna have to help me on some of my over unders on this one. But
Fair.
I mean, I think Cincinnati wins this game. I think eventually the Bengals are gonna get going. When that happens, I don't know. When it happens is when they start protecting Joe Burrow, because he's just getting hit like crazy. Like, how can he get hit more than last year? I don't know, but he is. So that's what we're looking at. But Cincinnati, I like Miami to cover the spread. That 4 is a weird number. 3.5 on FanDuel, weird number. The field goal is what I'm looking at, so I like that. And if I am right on this, this was a low total, but I think I might have still had the under.
You did. It's 47.
Yeah.
It's 47.5. It's a Thursday night football game. Let's be
Exactly. 47.5 for a Thursday night football game is a lot of points.
Let's be real. That's a lot of points. Again, we're assuming Tua plays. I've got Miami under, as does Cole, as well. Tua doesn't play, then go ahead and just give it all to Cincy. And still, by the way, take the under. Definitely take the under if Tua's not playing.
Yeah.
But if Tua's not playing, it's Cincy's game, and it's an under. For Cole and I, Tua playing, Miami in the under. Ryan's going to split those. He'll give Cincy the win. They'll pull it out probably in a last-second field goal, and that'll cover for Miami.
Yep.
All right, your game in London. Let me spot with T. They're going to play super early. I think it's 9, 10 o'clock? Let me check.
Yeah, it's something crazy early. But
on Sunday?
But I just
8:30 a.m.
I hit it a little bit earlier. If the Vikings would have lost to the Lions, I think they lose this game. But I think they keep momentum. The nice part about it is they have a bye week after that.
By the way, Cole didn't respond to that game. Of all the games, he just skipped that one. So
he likes the Vikings.
We'll get that filled in later. But you can keep going. It's your team.
Yeah. So I mean, I don't think the Saints really have a chance in this game. I mean, yeah, it's basically an away game for both teams. I don't really know why this is that close because the Saints are bad, but.
Oh, I don't. I think it's a 10-point victory by the Vikings myself. But I also think that both defenses are solid enough that this isn't. It's not. I don't think it's going over. For that reason, I can see 23-10 type situation here. I just don't see the Saints scoring. Maybe max they're getting to 14, 13. If they're lucky, 17. Which means then you've got to push Minnesota closer to 30. And again, on the New Orleans defense, I just don't see that specifically. Now it could happen.
Yeah, I can get behind that.
It could happen.
I can get behind that. Yeah, so I got Minnesota. I believe I have
over.
I think I have over in this game. Actually.
You do have the over. Don't know why.
Which maybe. Well, I think they gave me hope by getting feeling the ball a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, hopefully.
And they got Cook going a little bit as well, even though Cook got a little dinged up, left the game early, and played pretty well. So
he always gets dinged up around this time, and then disappears for a couple games, and then gets hot, and he's fine.
Yeah.
I only know that because he's on my fantasy team, and that's usually what happens.
Fair enough.
Now we get to the Cleveland, Atlanta, in Atlanta. Fun fact about this one.
Atlanta. That's all I got to say.
Right? Fun fact about this game. Each team has scored more than 26 points per game. They're the only two teams in the league to do so, and they match up this week. So does something have to give? Or, I mean, really? Right? Going into the season, if you would have told me the two highest averages, Right. The two teams that have scored 26 every game or more is Jacoby Brissett-led Browns and the Atlanta Falcons.
Mariota-led Falcons.
Just not what you think.
Have a ton of weapons. Like, that's the thing. Both teams have weapons. But I don't know. Marcus Mariota, he's an outlier to me because he had a really, really good start to his career. Got hurt. Some things happened. But so I know my picks on here. I got Atlanta to win. Atlanta to cover the spread.
We all have.
I have the over because I think this is at like 49.5.
It is at 49.5. We all have Atlanta to win and to cover the spread of 1.5. Me and you both have the over. I mean, they both have scored 26 points each game. I don't have a reason that needs to stop in this game.
No,
at all. So let's ride with that. Cole has them on the under though. So that is what it is.
He just loves NFL unders, which I mean, that's just a tradition.
Historically,
it's hitting like 75% of the time right now.
Right. Absolutely. All right.
I'm rounding it out. So should we hit Cole's game first?
Yeah.
Cowboys game.
Yep.
Rounding out, getting back to the house here. So I'm actually standing outside the house. So.
Got it. Yep. So we'll finish for you guys real quick with the boys, and then you can just text me your other picks. Cowboys and the Commanders. Cole's got, obviously, being the homer as he is, he's going to go Dallas under 42.5. That one's intriguing to me. And then you've got what, Dallas winning, and then Washington covering, huh?
At 3.5, it's a field goal. Now, if I were a smart betting man, which sometimes I'm not, and I like to go off on a willy-nilly, I look at Washington's performance last week and say, okay, not a chance. But that's against a Dak-led Cowboys team rather than a Cooper Rush-led Cowboys team.
I mean, that's fair. So, and you've got the under as well.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's the interdivisional unders that hit 65% of the time over like the last 18 years or something like that.
Yeah, especially in the East. Just no thank you.
Just dogs you do. Unless it's the Eagles, because the Eagles are good for scoring. So
the Eagles are good for scoring. You're right. Yeah, I've got Dallas under. There's just nothing in Washington, specifically the way Dallas's defense is playing, that thinks that this is going to remain not a touchdown win for them.
Yeah,
and that's just where I'm at. So, all right. Well, you get to getting. I need you to give me the KC, Tampa Bay, Rams, San Fran. Or no, you already did that. I need to grab it for Coles. I need your spread and your over/under locks. That's all I need.
Ooh, gross. Okay.
All right.
That's the worst part for NFL. Spread over/under locks, I think.
We don't hit.
They're just so tough.
They are not easy, but I hit them all the time. It's fine.
I do not.
All right. Peace easy. Just like that, I'm all by myself again. Figure. All right, so let's get into the KC Tampa Bay game. And for me, this game, one, I have the Chiefs. I took the FanDuel, put $50 on them, get $5 per win, Super Bowl winners. So I mean, I can be happy about that part. But this game is gonna be intriguing for everyone in regards to what the media is going to be talking about. The media is going to be talking about the fact that both teams have lost last week. They didn't look good, etc. This one comes down to who's going to play for Tampa Bay, really. And I believe that's why Kansas City is going to be favored right now. They're favored, well, only 2. Wow. Only 2.5 on Sunday Night Football. But the receivers are banged up. I think they'll get hot later, but not right now. Kansas City should have won last week against Colts handedly, but they had a lot of special teams issues, and I mean a ton of special teams issues, as well as their best defender deciding to get a penalty at the end of the game, which would have locked up the game if they didn't. So to me, that's where this game lies, and it's funny. And what we're going to do, we're going to do it. We're going to do it. It's going to happen. Good luck. We all have Kansas City in the under, so go ahead and fade that. No, but seriously, it should be. I don't see. I mean, Tampa Bay is right now discombobulated. They haven't scored much either. Kansas City really hasn't either. So 45.5 on FanDuel, and we've got 45 on DraftKings. The under seems like a lock, and then we each got Kansas City. So, hey, ride it till you die. Oh, hey, Cole.
Did I come back?
You're back. I only tried calling you in 100 times.
Jeez, I'm in and out here, so it's very spotty.
That's fair. And we just Ryan just left because he had to go home and just got home. So I was by myself for the Kansas City Tampa Bay game, but we goon locked on it, by the way, with Kansas City under. So I told the fans to fade us because
we've been hot. We've been hot goon locks this week.
We have. But we get to the Monday night game, and we've got San Fran at home against the Rams. San Fran's favored by 2.5.
I don't get it.
On FanDuel. Quick question for you, Cole. The Niners haven't scored like all year. The Rams can. We've got a quarterback who runs to the back of the end zone. Denver has a decent defense, but the Rams have a couple good defenders, specifically on the line. I think there's a couple of them that are okay.
Yeah. Couple decent guys
that are definitely better than the Broncos, and they couldn't run on them.
Right.
So the Rams are gonna be dogs going into San Fran.
And again, I should have looked at the history. I know that the NFC West is crazy like this because it's got certain teams who have, like, the Rams own the Cardinals, and for some reason I feel like the 49ers own the Rams in this cyclical growth NFC West thing. So, like, that would probably be the reason the line's this way, but I don't see it. I don't give me the Rams all the way there.
I don't see it at all either. The totals over-unders are at 42.5 at FanDuel, 41.5 on DraftKings. We just both Sunday Night Football and Monday Night Football. But I wholeheartedly agree. It's got to be Rams under until they show us something. However,
correct.
For everyone that is betting, I actually can see this game being 23-20.
Right.
I'm not gonna lie. So,
correct.
As an over under, not super, I guess overly excited, but I think the high end, these teams aren't scoring more than 45-46, but
right.
I can easily see a 23-20 game, happening. But there's nothing that tells me that the Rams should lose this game, except for the stats that yes, they go to San Fran, they don't ever score, whatever.
Right.
But I don't think that's going to be the case.
But that even pushes me more towards the under. Is what it comes down to.
Right, because that means no points are being scored.
Yep.
Absolutely. So 2 goon locks: Sunday Night Football and Monday Night Football. Oh, we'll see how hot we're gonna get real quick. Let's get to our locks. And then we'll go back to your college locks because that's what we missed out on.
Oh yeah.
But let's see. Money line lock. Ryan's got Carolina at -126. Carolina is playing the Cardinals at home. I wouldn't touch that game.
No, that sounds like that's not a game. I don't trust either one of those teams. I don't trust either one of those quarterbacks.
No, I wouldn't. I just wouldn't touch that thing. That's gross. Yeah. No, thank you on that one. There's a lot of plenty other games that you could you could go ahead and take on the money line.
Right.
But that's not the one for me. I'm surprised he didn't go homer and just take the Vikings at -140. I don't.
Who do they have this week?
They're in London against the Saints.
Yeah, I would much rather take that game.
As would I. But I'm gonna ride with. I'm gonna go with Indy at -170. They got hot. They're playing a little better. Played the Chiefs. Their O-line still can't block anyone to save their lives. But I think this is a must win for them in their division against the Titans. I just still haven't seen anything from the Titans though that makes me excited.
I'm staying so far away from that game.
Yeah, that one's you should probably stay away. Probably should.
Yeah, that's gross. That game's gross.
But give me the Colts. Give me the Colts in that one at -170.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I do like the Vikings against the Saints. I don't like that game at all.
You got Vikings at -140. Well, that's on DraftKings. Yep. I have no idea what is on FieldDoor at this moment, but I like that one too. I don't have a problem with that one, not at all. We also laid into and let everyone know that the way the line is on the Dolphins, that we were putting these picks. Yes, it's Tuesday.
Right.
Based upon the fact that we believe Tua's playing, which is not probably what these stats are telling you. So if you don't think he's playing, or you do think he's playing, these are good odds for you, in our opinion. Get it later. He's not playing. I think these drastically changed too. Right now, all the lines are iffy. I looked up the SGPs. They don't even have Tua on there at all. So it's just a is what it is thing. So I told the fans we made our picks based upon Tua playing.
Right.
Tua doesn't play. Those picks probably aren't being made. It's going to be Cincy under. I don't know why that would not happen.
Right.
So spread lock. How was I? I just had a really good one that I liked. How would it go? Where did you go? Where did you go? I'm gonna go up, and I really hate to do this. Just because.
Give me the Jags +6.5, man.
Jags +6. That's a good one.
Over the Texans all day. Let's go.
Again, that one doesn't make any sense. Some of these are in the NFL don't make much sense to me, but and that's one of them. I like that one. It's Jags over the Eagles, by the way. Do you want to respond to that one?
Oh, you kicked out on me there.
You said Jags.
Yeah, Jags are 6.5 against the Texans.
Against the Eagles, not the Texans. Did I lose you again?
I'm seeing games from a week from now.
Okay.
My bad.
Yeah. I was like, let's.
Yeah, what are the Jags Eagles?
Jags Eagle. It is +6.5, but it's against the Eagles, not the Texans.
Yeah, I'll still take the Jags in the 6.5 in that game, but
sure.
No, sorry, I was looking at the wrong week.
All good. I'm actually going to take your boys over the Commanders at -3. The Commanders haven't showed me much. I know Cowboys defense can at least hold them to 10, 13 points. And Cooper's been doing Cooper things. That's Rush. That is not Kupp and not Amari. Okay, for those fans out there.
Right.
Over under. Oh, there's a really easy one in here. Where the hell was it? What was it? Oh yeah. Miami, Cincy. Go ahead and give me the under 47.5. It's a Thursday night football game.
Damn you.
That's not getting to 48 points. Let's be real.
I mean, I took the unders in all of our games, but that one was
glaring. Like that's just not. I mean, where the Burrow's going to get sacked 6.5, 17 times. If Tua doesn't play, they're not scoring 10 points. So Tua does play. Okay, maybe they can get to 20, but it's going to be 20-17. So, all right, that's me.
Who are the Colts playing this week?
The Colts, they are playing the Titans.
40, you mean what's the over/under in that game?
42.5.
Yeah, I'll take the under in that game.
Wait, who are the Colts playing? Oh, yeah, the Titans. Oh, yeah, no, for sure.
Yeah, the under. Give me the under.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. D-Gen pick. Ryan's got the Jags over the Eagles. Apparently, he said there's only a couple you could actually pick.
Yeah, there can't be too many games this week.
It's either that one. You got the Patriots at plus 390 over the Pack, which you don't have your quarterback.
Over who?
Over the Packers, but they don't have their starting quarterback anymore.
Yeah, Jones is out.
And then, well, there's actually only those two on.
You say, do we have any other games even?
Those are the only two on DraftKings. Ew. That's gross.
Yeah, if it's only those two, it's got to be Jags. So that makes that bet kind of irrelevant this week, but it is what it is.
Yeah, it would definitely make it an irrelevant thing. Like, don't pick us on this one. Let me see if that's anything on FanDuel. The Texans at plus 194 of the Chargers. That's the closest next one.
Yeah. I'll take the Jags still over that in that game.
I mean,
as far as of the three.
Yeah. I mean, I agree. I'm not going to. You know what? Give me the Patriots, okay? I'm going to stick to our rules. There's only 2 games that are plus 200 or more. Give me the Patriots just because I don't want us to all pick the same. Mm-hmm. And, have some intrigue.
That's fair.
That's all we got there. All right. Ryan hasn't filled those in at all. Let's go back real quick to Cole's locks in college football.
Perfect.
Who do you got for money line?
Who do you guys take?
It's funny. We're just picking Washington teams. I got Washington minus 190, and Washington State minus 190 at home, and Ryan's got Washington at minus 146.
Yes. Just headed up to the state of Washington, huh?
Yeah, just headed on up.
Nice. Gosh. Who does Georgia play this week?
Let me look. Let me get to college. Who does Georgia? Who the hell's Georgia play this week? We're just gonna pick whatever that happens. There's just so many more college games than NFL.
Yeah. Sorry, I don't have. For some reason, my phone is not pulling through.
Georgia's playing Missouri. The spread is minus 28. Over under is 54.
Yeah, give me Georgia all day in that game.
As what?
Give me Georgia spread lock.
Okay.
Georgia is gonna roll this week.
Georgia. Yeah, they're gonna be a little upset.
Yep.
Little upset.
I'll take that as my spread. Honestly, yeah, I'll take that as my spread. My money line. What's Michigan over Iowa this week as far as money line goes?
Michigan, Iowa. Oh, it's gonna be earlier. Money line minus 425.
Okay, can't do that.
I'm surprised you didn't take that over under. That's at 42.
Yeah, I'll take the under in that game.
That's what I did.
Yep.
Like,
I'm fine with that.
yeah, go ahead and lock that one.
What's the Iowa State Kansas game?
Ooh, so this one, I took KU. It's +3. KU at KU.
Yeah. I mean, I think Kansas will probably win that game, honestly. But I'll stay away from that game. Let's see. I'm trying to think who else. Who's Oklahoma play this week? Oklahoma, Ohio State, USC. Give me those 3 games.
USC. What are we on? Money line lock. I mean, they're minus 3,500. So you've already put your spread in over line. So you just need money line and DGen right now.
Yep.
So that one's not touchable. You said USC.
Yeah, so USC will be out. Who's Oklahoma?
And what was
Ohio State play?
Ohio State. Ohio State plays Rutgers. That's can't even bet on that money line. And Oklahoma, TCU, but it's minus 240. Unless you're going for the upset, that is, of course.
And let's see here. I don't know. I'm not getting any games coming through on my end. My reception sucks, so I got to figure something out.
All right. Well, we can do that.
Let's see. So who'd you take for your DGen?
My DGen's Auburn plus 270 over Mississippi State.
I don't like that. Who'd Ryan take?
He took NC State over Clemson.
Yeah, give me absolutely.
All right.
That's over. That's plus 200.
Plus 202, and then it's 220 or something on DraftKings.
Yeah. Yep. All day.
I mean, there's a lot of. Let's see. Let me just go down a list for you. You got Houston over Tulane on Friday, minus 145. UTSA over Mid Tennessee State, minus 175.
What do I need? Spread lock still?
No, you need money line lock.
Just money line lock?
Yeah, I'm just reading those off to you.
I mean, honestly, give me Middle Tennessee. Coming fresh off that upstate of Miami
at plus 150.
Yeah, give me them on a lock. They're dominating that game.
Wow, I like it.
Let's go.
I kind of like that one. I'm not gonna lie, I like that one. All right. Well, that does it. Unless you had other things to say.
No, I don't. Sorry, I didn't have better reception here to be able to.
No, that's not
a little more value add.
That's not what you say sorry for. You say sorry for the fact that you forgot you were on a trip. You didn't invite us for the trip, and
I didn't have availability for the trip, and I'm looking at Fountain Casinos, and I got a 14-ounce ribeye waiting for me. So.
Then
sorry.
Let's keep you on the
I'm
line.
not sorry.
Yeah, let's keep you on the line a little longer. Show's got to go on, bud. Show's got to go on.
Show must go on.
But enjoy that. Enjoy that ribeye. I just, finish the show all by myself. Don't worry. We'll wrap this thing up, but enjoy that. Solo. Yellow. Take a picture. Right. Let us know. But we'll see you next week, right?
Sounds good, bud.
All right.
Later.
And then that does it. We did a solo. Well, half solo, third to solo, quarter solo. But like always, share, subscribe. Even better, comments. Come at us. Talk to us. We're going to start having some guests on, some former players, coaches. There's a lot of fun things that we're going to keep doing and get down to it, but we need some engagement. Have fun. We have some good picks out there. Winning some money. So make sure to do that. We might even have a Twitter sesh where Steve, obviously haven't seen him come through, but he's going to get on there and give you some good value picks. So hit us up. Let us know. And as always, right, Ryan? Oh. Like, subscribe, share. We'll see you next week.